Chapter 4, Going Back. When Harriet got to Philadelphia, she got a job as a cook and cleaner. She met other black people who had come north to freedom. She met more white people who wanted all slaves to be free. Harriet was very happy to be free at last in the North, but she was also lonely. She didn't know anyone. She missed her family. Her parents were still down in Maryland. So were her 10 brothers and sisters. Harriet began to feel that there was something she must do. Many years later, she told a friend about what she had felt. I had seen the tears and heard the cries of other slaves. I had heard their cries of pain. I would give every drop of my blood to free them. I was free, and they should be free like me. I would make a home for them in the North. With the Lord's help, I would bring them all here. She worked hard and saved her money and began to make plans to save her family. Harriet began to meet many people who worked for the Underground Railroad. One of them was a black man named William Still. He ran a secret office in Philadelphia. Slaves came to the office for help after they had come north. William Still wrote down the stories that people told him. We have found out many things about Harriet from William Still's papers. Another member of the Underground Railroad was a white man named Thomas Garrett. He lived in Wilmington, Delaware. Thomas Garrett was a member of the Quaker faith. The Quakers all wanted to end slavery. There was still some slavery in the state of Delaware, but most of the black people who lived in the state were not slaves anymore. Thomas Garrett helped to hide the slaves who came to him on their way north. He gave them food and money and new shoes so that they could keep on walking. He also helped Harriet and other people make plans to bring more slaves up north. In all the years that he worked on the Underground Railroad, Thomas Garrett helped almost 3,000 slaves to go north to freedom. In 1850, Harriet was ready to try to free her sister, Mary Ann. Mary Ann was married to a free black man. Harriet could not read or write, but she got someone else to write a letter to him to tell him what to do. She wanted him to sneak Mary Ann and their 2 young children away from the plantation and take them up to the city of Baltimore in Maryland. Then Harriet would meet them there. She would lead them the rest of the way to Philadelphia. But something went wrong. On the day that Mary Ann and her children were going to leave, the owner took them into town to be sold. The husband went into the town and saw that his wife and children were being sold. After they were sold, the white men went off to eat dinner somewhere. The husband sneaked in where his family was being kept, and somehow he got them out. He knew a white woman in town who hated slavery, so he took them to her house to hide. Later, he got a boat and took them up to Baltimore. Harriet was ready for them there with a place that they could hide. Then she took them up to Philadelphia, like she said she would. They were the first people that Harriet ever saved from slavery.